It's almost time to connect. This episode features a tribute to the life, legacy, and activism of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You also find some myth-busting reality checks about Dr. King you probably didn't realize. You'll meet two entrepreneurs who are living Dr. King's message of Black economic empowerment. You'll also meet viewers who responded to our video challenge, discover the 2 places on earth every Black person should know to escape racism, and if you're sick of the cold, we're promising you in this episode a couple of minutes of sunshine. And tonight's performing artist is the nationally acclaimed poetry and spoken word artist, Elliot Axiom. All that and more in tonight's episode of Connect. You've been craving a change in Black media, and Let's Buy Black's Positive Black Media Project is bringing it to you every Monday night. Get your fix with the all-new breakout show that features the best in Black music, culture, education, business, fitness, technology, entertainment, and lifestyle. Get ready to meet your new favorite host, along with brilliant entrepreneurs, powerful activists, chefs. Watch a segment featuring your favorite positive Black media producers, youth initiatives, community organizations, elders, business leaders, world leaders, hot entertainers, and more. Tune in Mondays at 8 p.m. to connect.
Let's Buy Black 360.
Let's Buy Black 360. Let's Buy Black 365.
It's everything. We're blacking it out.
Get plugged in and tune in to letsbuyblack365.com/connecttv.
It's that time, y'all. Get on your feet and put your hands together.
All right, well, welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Connect by Let's Buy Black 365. I am your host, Nataki.
And I'm Tyler.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Last week we had our first show and the feedback has just been absolutely amazing. Definitely appreciate all the comments and phone calls and messages and everything. People are really loving the show. Have gotten some people inquiring about becoming guests on the show and showcasing things on the show, and might have some new field reporters coming at you. So it's just been really great.
It's going to be an awesome show, and especially today because today's show we're dedicating to the life and legacy of a man that has been a pillar and still is a pillar within our community. And that man is none other than Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes.
It's really going to be an amazing episode. Dr. King has done so much to help our communities, and so we've got that tribute to Dr. King, as well as some other special surprises and guests for you. So yeah, let's jump in.
Let's jump in. In particular, with Dr. King, you know, he has had an impact on all of us, really, especially as community activists and organizers and things. But one thing that tends to happen with figures like Dr. King and others is that they are this larger-than-life type of person, or revered in that manner. And he's done a lot of great work, so he deserves that. But oftentimes, the thing that kind of distinguishes us from him is just the national media aspect, because you have a lot of organizers in the community that do that work. Yeah, and you know, I was reflecting on how if we really stop and think, Dr. King was just a man. You know, some people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she said that, but he was just a man who had a wife and children and a job and you know, ordinary hobbies and everything, and he chose to, in addition to all those other things, be an activist. And I think sometimes we forget that each one of us could actually make that choice. We still have all the things going on in our regular life. We can just choose activism as well. And you know, it's also, you know, if you think about it in context,
he was in his 20s and 30s when that happened.
Yeah, about 20. I know it was like around 25 or 26 when he got started, and then of course 39 when he was.
Right. And so if you think about it, you know, in today's context, if he was in those age ranges, he would be a millennial or a Generation Xer. So, you know, it's not beyond conception that any one of us can duplicate that. And like you said, the real difference isn't the work, it's just, is there a camera pointed at you that highlights the work? And also a lot of people don't realize that there weren't, you know, we see the pictures of the March on Washington, but there weren't thousands of people following him all the time. You know, it was handfuls of people. And so it's interesting, one of the brothers who was working with us here at Let's Buy Black, Parker, shout out to him, was like, well, you know, I don't know that I know any black leaders. And it's just like, well, if you know anyone who is leading a group or a movement who has people who they are organizing in any meaningful way, then you know a leader. Like, we really need to get beyond expecting other people's media to say, hey everybody, this person who jumps on camera every time something happens, that's your leader. Those actually usually aren't your leaders
at all. They're normally like elected or selected by somebody outside of your own group, you know, to lead, so-called lead your whole initiative. But
or derail
your
that's real initiative.
That's an excellent point, right? And but going back to like Dr. King's message, one of the things that I took from him is just the collectivism and togetherness. I remember one time when I was in Tanzania and I had the opportunity to sit at the feet of MZ Pete O'Neill, so one of the original Black Panthers that went to Tanzania, and he was talking just about the movement in the 60s and the 70s and how, you know, oftentimes you would find people, the elders, some elders would not necessarily agree with the methods of the Black Panther Party, but they would say, well, here, I don't agree with you, but here's a pie, here's some food. They were actually able to contribute to advancing the movement in ways in which you may not think, or it's not the glorious ways that oftentimes they show.
Right. And that, you know, that still happens today, I know, because even within Let's Buy Black 365 and this movement, most of us are younger, and we have elder advisors who I think for the most part we're in line and you know, think along the same ways, but every once in a while, you know, that elder wisdom and guidance and everything is important. And so, you know, I think thinking about all these things helps to make us realize that it's not this thing that happened in the distant past and we're waiting for someone to come and do something like that. We have it right here. It's just a matter of how do we tap into it and how do we connect with those in the community who are doing things. And that's what this show is about.
All about. And, you know, and even the same things that Dr. King was fighting back then, you know, a lot of the things that we still fight today, like it's just a different time frame. Like, for instance, we're not going to throw the name up or give this company any shine, but what's recently been in the news is the young brother who was wearing a hoodie. A hoodie from one of these companies that don't like us, that said "coolest monkey in the jungle." You know, and this isn't the first time that this has happened. There was another time where it's a soap company, you know, saw a woman change colors. You know,
she took off the shirt. She was black and then took off the shirt and she was white.
So this is
and you know, honestly, I think what I love about the Let's Buy Black 365 movement is, and I'm gonna put it out there, I think there are a lot of armchair revolutionaries who wait for things to happen to us and then like, let's complain, let's protest, let's do whatever. And you know, the members of Let's Buy Black 365 like you are here because, you know, we're not trying to react to what other people do. You know, if we do what we're supposed to do all the time, then it doesn't matter what those companies do because we're not giving them our dollars anyway. So you can sell whatever you want because you're not getting my money. And so, yeah, it's I think it's really, really important that and I love the fact that we're all solutions oriented.
Absolutely.
And you know, I think speaking of solutions,
yeah, we that's the one thing, because here at Let's Buy Black 365 we're a part of solutions, and we want to build solutions. You know, today one of the first guests, you know, is style consultant and has an awesome company in which you had the opportunity to sit down and build with, right?
Yeah. We met with the style consultant from Power in One. You know, last week I was wearing my I Love My Culture hoodie, and Tyler keeps getting up in so many of the interviews that we've done that you'll see throughout the season. I am wearing that hoodie because it's so, in fact, I had it on earlier today. So I really do have more clothes, but
he loves that hoodie.
leave me alone. On air. But yeah, so I got to sit down with the style consultant. You know, the seasons are changing, and you can see what some of the spring fashions are looking like. So we're gonna take a moment and spend some time with Atuya of Power in One Clothing.
All right.
Hi, this is Nataki with Let's Buy Black 365, here today with Atuya from Power in One Clothing. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So what is Power in One Clothing about?
So basically, Power in One is a brand started, be 5 years in October. And the concept of you within yourself have the power to make positive change. So we link that with like dope fashion. So positive message, dope fashion as well. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and you guys have fashion shows too, right?
Fashion shows, we do pop-ups, boutiques. Coming up in Charlotte in a couple weeks, near my birthday.
Okay.
We got like a trunk show going on down there.
A trunk show, all right.
It's going to be cool. So a couple models out there with the latest line. Afro Cool will be out there on display. That one right there as well. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
And
I'm loving this pink.
Appreciate it. That's been a top, so it's not even on the website yet, but we've been having it at our pop-ups.
Yeah.
And people have been loving it.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, we definitely do fashion shows. One good piece with our fashion that we're able to link it with a lot of times with youth organizations.
Youth
like
organizations.
If a school, a middle school having a fashion show, and they like the positivity of our brand.
Right.
So yeah, on the runway, even with that. So middle school, high school students rocking our brand as well. So.
Okay, so what's the concept behind Power in One?
So we like to say that we are the revolution's favorite label. So
Nice.
with that said, it's like, one, letting people know the revolution starts with you inside.
Okay.
Tapping into your power, tapping into the source, you know, tapping into that connection with our ancestors
Right.
as well, inside and internally. So that's the concept. So once we tap into that, then you got the power in one within yourself, and then
Yes.
we can link that power. Me and you can link our power in one
Exactly.
together for the collective power in one. So that's the concept behind it. So like I said, as I mentioned earlier, bringing that positive message and that source and that tapping and encouraging people that you know you are power.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So
You
it's a
are
way you
power.
can wear your power, wear your
Right. It's real
culture.
reflective. What you rock is a lot of times a reflective of what you feel inside. It's a conversational piece. Just imagine when you have that shirt on, that I love tee, and you go and see that somebody, if you wearing that, like, people know. People know.
So what does it mean if you're wearing someone else's
Right.
name, someone else's
Right.
label,
And I think
someone else's
that's a
culture?
challenge sometimes that we have to reprogram ourselves. You know, it's a challenge, and it's a growth process. And I think we've all been there. You know what I mean? I think we've all been there where I might have been giving all my money to Polo. I might have been giving all my money to, you know, Ralph Lauren, Nike, stuff like that. But it's another concept. But it also, when you have your own brand, when you have a positive brand, it does so much. Like a couple weeks ago, my nephew was able to go to a pop-up shop with me and help me out. And so the next time I saw my nephew, him and my niece, you know, as I'm walking around the hall, they're like, Power in One, Power in One. So the fact that he was able to see his uncle out there having something of his own,
Right.
you know, and hopefully something I'll be able to turn over to him down the road, it gave him a sense of pride.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I
And
think
that's
it goes a long way.
And that's what the focus on even black businesses is, because what is that, you know, what can that mean?
Right.
30, 40 years from now, if you're turning it over to the next generation.
It goes a long way. I was just thinking about, like, he plays youth football, so I have a concept of saying, okay, he's pretty active and pretty successful in it, but you know what? Why doesn't he have a shirt of his own.
Oh yeah.
Selling it at the event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we're gonna work on that.
Okay.
Be powered by Power and One, but
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, you know, what are the top selling? You know, what's hot on the site right now?
Definitely hot is the I Love Tea has remained one of our top sellers as we go on, because like I said, it is a conversational piece.
And you're saying that this one, I love my history.
I love my culture. I love my people. I love me. You know what I mean? So it's definitely it's been steadfast, been up there at the top.
Okay.
But right now we have the Afro Cool brand out. You see right here with the Afro Plus, as well as the shirt that you're rocking. It's actually a concept that was created by one of our managing partners, who's also an MC, producer, rapper. So he has a track called Afro Cool.
Yeah, pop off like a rifle. No shit, the outfit is tribal. No vision, go get the Bible. Sound like the dance at recital. Come on, why these rappers soft? Rhyme with all the back and forth. Light up something on the back of porch. Now who are y'all clapping for? It's the goddess, it's the prophet. Shit, the hate do nothing to love that I get. His house, what are you about? That's my clip. We so deep, so please don't try it. Please go buy it. I'm no liar. The preacher, the congregation, the choir. Psych, I be trapped out. They ain't really what I rap about. That's right.
So it's even beyond the concept of if you have an afro, but it's just the concept of African, and we're cool.
Right.
You know, our swag with it. So, so yeah, it's definitely it's coming up. I Love Tea is there, but the Afro Cool has been a hit.
I want one of it already.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. And so I was just curious, what else? What's next?
Yeah, what's next is continue to Ryan just moved to LA, so getting the Power and One brand out in Los Angeles. Also, we're looking, as we work with some of our strategic partners, is to be able to develop an avenue for youth, high school, middle school students to be able to potentially internship with Power and One, and give them a connection to fashion. And also, you know, every time we have those experiences where we work with youth and our young brothers and sisters, we're going to learn just as much from them as they're going to learn from us. So we're looking forward to that. So LA, get ready for us. Power and One is going to land a nice little production coming up very soon. And we're just going to continue to spread the love from Power and One, and let people know that we truly are the revolution's favorite label.
Right.
Which one you thinking about getting?
Oh, well, definitely this one, because I'm loving the pink. So
with your puffs,
Does it have a matching pink hat?
Sooner or later, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Some good tips. And the one thing that really stood out about Atuya was the fact that he incorporated his nephew with it. You know, just the brand and being able to like really, because we're trying to create generational wealth. So being able to teach the youth, just those entrepreneurship skills when they're young goes a long way.
Right. Yeah, I love that brand. Obviously I have the hoodie, but I actually did buy that pink shirt, and I have another. I actually have the I Love in the T-shirt also. So you'll be able to. You actually can go on if you're watching this from letsbuyblack.com/connecttv. You can actually look in the store and see the hoodie. Definitely appreciate Power and One. They actually are doing a $5 off promo. If you put LBB 5 off as the promo code, you'll get $5 off your entire order. So that was pretty cool. Definitely appreciate those brothers over there. And so if you do get something, share your pictures, share your videos of what you're doing, wearing your culture on your sleeve, literally. So yeah.
I love it. And actually I need to get one because when I was in Uganda I gave mine away. So I'm definitely going.
Oh wow! You must have really liked that person.
I definitely am going to get one. But yeah. So actually, you have a message for just because again, Dr. King really is about. One of his messages was economic empowerment. And we have our business consultant here with a message for our audience just on that very topic. Some of the activists in Let's Buy Black 365 really thought about how can celebrating Dr. King's life go beyond just going to marches and demonstrations on his birthday or doing community outreach on his birthday, and really be more living
his message as a lifestyle. And so take a listen. This year, let's honor the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. differently. Let's not just sit around and talk about his August 28, 1963, I Have a Dream speech. Let's wake up and carry out the call to action he gave us the night before he was assassinated in his April 3rd, 1968 mountaintop speech 5 years later. In that speech, he called for us to stand together against injustice, not by marching or demonstrating, but by imposing economic sanctions and taking our dollars out of communities that don't support us to put them inside the Black community. In the mountaintop speech, Dr. King called for us to individually commit to spending and building and strengthening Black-owned businesses and institutions. So this year, let's be the vision of Black America that Dr. King had and honor the philosophies and the evolution of his career. Be the resource your community needs. Identify as many Black-owned businesses, organizations, and institutions you can think of. Post them at www.letsbuyblack365.com to help others. Then, post a response video or share with us what Black-owned businesses you've identified to switch to from now on. Yay! Yeah. So, we actually did this initiative last year, and everybody was like, you know, I want to do it again because there's always more that we can do. And so throughout this episode and over the next couple of weeks, we're going to share some of the video responses. So you don't have to do anything big. You can do a selfie cam video and just share exactly what you're going to do to live Dr. King's message. And so with that, we're going to share one of our favorite messages that came through from one of my favorite members of the Let's Buy Black 365 movement. And let's take a listen to Ama Kamban telling us her message from Ghana, West Africa.
Greetings everyone, my name is Ama Kamban and I'm doing this video to show my support for all the Black-owned companies that me and my family have always been helping by buying Black. We are thankful to Let's Buy Black 365 for starting this movement and creating this campaign that highlights Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mountaintop speech in 1968 about supporting our own. When we buy Black, we are living the words and vision of our ancestors, like Marcus Garvey and Queen Nzinga, and others who supported Black economic empowerment. Not only do me and my family support many Black-owned businesses, such as Black-owned hair and skincare products like Asasa Heals, Black-owned online language learning sites like Abibi Tumikasa, and Black-owned business accounting sites like New Business Solutions. We've repatriated and moved to a Black-run and controlled country where the majority of people in my community are Black entrepreneurs. I will continue to support my community and nation by encouraging my parents and my friends to buy Black 365 days of the year. Thank you.
Seriously, that melts my heart.
Wow.
She's so adorable.
Yeah, see, young.
Right,
How
right.
Is she?
She's 10 now, so she was 9 when she made that.
Wow, you see, and this is the beauty of Let's Buy Black. It's just it's the family, you know, starting from so young.
Right, and about that video, she heard the challenge, and it wasn't like anybody put her up to it and said, hey, I'm gonna make a video. She decided to make the video on her own, and you know, she, like her father, speaks 4 languages, and so what you're seeing even watching the video is her reading the script that she wrote. So she was pausing to read the script. So, you know, that's initiative, that's self-determination. It's beautiful. It really very much so. It really is. Very much so. So So, you know, continuing with the whole concept of self-determination, you know, we saw with Power in One how we can wear our culture on our sleeve, and what some of the trendy fashions are for just everyday wear, and also some, you know, sportswear. Now we're going to meet another brilliant entrepreneur who is making a difference in her community. So everyone, take a look. We're going to meet Miss Busy Bee Britton.
Hi, I'm Juanita Busy Bee Britton, and we're at National Airport in Washington, D.C. It's all about entrepreneurship, and I operate 14 stores at this airport. So let's remember, let's buy black 365.
So after that amazing introduction, we are actually here with Juanita Britton, known as Miss Busy Bee.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for participating with me.
Yeah. So you're just doing so many amazing things. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started? I think it's a fantastic story. When did you get started?
Well, just following in the footsteps of my grandfather, my father, and my mother, and my uncle, who all had really formal jobs, but they always had something on the side.
Okay.
And so at 10, I started a lemonade stand, and I started on one corner. I was counting cups, lemons, boxes of, cups of sugar, and then I grew to about 6 corners by the time it was 13. So I've always loved being busy, loved working for myself, and quite frankly, I love having money.
Right.
Yeah.
Money's good.
Yeah.
Money's good. And so it's so fantastic because as we do so much championing of youth entrepreneurs, sometimes we just think of it as youth entrepreneurs and then we don't talk about it, but it's fantastic to see what youth entrepreneurship can actually blossom into. So you have 14 stores here at the airport. Tell us about all the things you're doing here.
Well, about 6 weeks before 9/11, I opened up this door, and we toasted. We had a quartet. Marion Berry was here. It's glorious opening, the beginning of what is now grown to 14 stores at National Airport, and I have restaurants, a couple of bars, and I employ over 200 people, and I love that part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of young people, a lot of training going on. And a lot of folk here have 2 jobs, and so they have come out thinking they're going to work 1 job, and actually some of them are on a career level job now.
Fantastic.
So I'm very excited for what it has offered me and folk in the community.
And I think a lot of people forget sometimes that entrepreneurship, we hear it more being about self-employment, but really the potential for entrepreneurship is the ability to build community and to employ others. And I always say sometimes it's nice to be able to reflect on the fact that, you can go to bed at night knowing that 200 people are taking care of themselves and feeding their families and living their goals and dreams because of what you've built.
In fact, that is why I sleep well at night.
Yes.
And so what happens though, and I talk about things happening when people are young. So a lot of our employees have young family members, and so their children are seeing them work. We give Christmas parties, do things throughout the year with the families that I work, and we work together. So I love being here. I even love the fact that many of them ask, how did I do it? How could they possibly do it? And what the future holds for them working here. So I get engaged about that.
So it goes beyond just what's happening right now, and so people can, it goes into what we keep hearing about legacy, because they can actually look towards the future.
That's right.
So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. So about this store, could you take us through, some of the items you have, and maybe for people who are not used to wearing suits, how do you start and pick a good first suit or start to build your wardrobe?
Well, it depends if you're talking a man or woman, but of course a man needs to start with a good suit, a couple of shirts, and 3 ties.
Okay.
That's very important. And then to build upon that, he needs a suit jacket, a sports jacket,
Okay.
a pair of pants, and 2 really good belts, a brown one and a black one.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about the flip over kind, I'm talking about a black belt or a brown belt. Okay. And
Okay.
so really good belt and just a really great pair of shoes. And so Brooks doesn't sell shoes, but we can outfit a man in everything that he is, so that they can be prepared. In fact, it used to be that men, when they graduated and they started their career, they had to have a suit.
Okay.
And of course, I'm really proud to say that former President Obama shopped here when he was a senator. And him and First Lady Michelle would come here, and they would shop together and get his shirts. And she actually bought a couple of ladies things herself. So.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. So for the ladies, of course, ladies always need a black dress. We sell a lot of nice conservative black dresses, a nice crisp white shirt, a jacket, and a skirt, and a great pair of black pants.
Can we put something together?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
So here we have our casual set, but a lot of Wall Street types or corporate types, this is acceptable.
Okay.
Okay, after you already have the job. Yeah, you already have the job. And here's a jacket. This jacket will go. It's kind of an outer jacket, but it will serve if the person is cold.
Okay.
Shirt. This isn't the first shirt I would suggest is nice, but because it's not crisp white, it needs to go. A crisp white shirt will go there. And then here we have. This is a wonderful traditional look. Depending on how tall, they're making skirts a lot shorter. And red is a power color, if that suits you. Gray is a color that everyone is using. So it's the gray with the blue. And again, these are conservative clothes. These are made strictly for the conservative at heart. Oftentimes, I will match these and pop it with a different type of accessory. But when I need to have a conservative look, and all that simply means is that your clothes don't overtake your position.
I gotcha.
So that's what conservative clothes mean. Oftentimes, I wear artsy clothes, and what I wear may become the centerpiece of attention.
Right. Yeah, your clothes and your hats are are famous.
Yes. So in the tradition of a job, that should not be.
Okay.
So as an entrepreneur, that's the one freedom I have, is that I can dress as I want.
You can mix and match
I can mix
and
and match.
Okay.
But you do know that I have corporate meetings, and I do wear conservative clothes to corporate meetings.
Okay.
Now this dress, snazzy, little
flare at the bottom.
Yeah, and this will be considered a conservative dress as well.
Okay.
Great for the office, and then if you want to make it look completely different, you can put that little suit jacket on with it.
Okay.
In fact, even that red top, that red jacket will make it a completely different outfit.
Okay. All right.
We're starting to see some great things happen. You all know the rose is hot now. It's on blue jeans, it's on jackets, it's embedded in leather coats, and so designers are not going to be left behind.
Okay.
Not being in with the times. So they spread that on a nice conservative dress.
Yeah, that's cute. All right, want to look at the men's?
So, one staple item in menswear is a great jacket. And a great jacket, this is one of the classic ones with gold buttons, really make a statement.
Yes.
And gold buttons certainly resemble success.
Right.
And that a big future is ahead when a gentleman wears a jacket with gold buttons.
Okay.
And it's not being flashy, it's just saying, I've arrived and I'm here to take care of business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so.
And that goes with a nice crisp white shirt, It could go with khakis or black pants. It's fine.
So the jacket can stand on its own.
Is the statement with the gold buttons, and that's what's talking.
Have a nice life. Okay.
And so a great white shirt or a shirt with a blue blend in it will be just fine. And of course a nice crisp red tie.
Okay. All right. And so I notice I see men with different kinds of jackets on, and the fabric always looks different. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, picking jackets that have good fabric?
Well,
picking clothes that have good fabric.
Well, the thing about the thing that distinguishes stores, a line of clothes is the fabric, and a good wool blend in men's jackets is what is needed to make it last. It breathes, it does not hold odor, and it can always be brushed and looks good all the time. Okay. And then it just depends on the tweed of the wool. So the more expensive jacket is the better blend of wool, and the tweed is tight, and that's what makes a great jacket. Is that it's good fabric as well as pants. Okay. And it goes for ladies' clothes as well. The better the fabric, the more it lasts, the better it lays, and the better it looks. And then when you buy expensive clothes, just a few pieces, you can wear those over and over, and you don't have to worry about buying a lot of clothes. Right. You can mix and match and make a great outfit.
So you can have a really great jacket, really great bottom, whether it's skirt or pants. That's right. And then you can mix and match the accessories and the tops without having to buy, you know, suits over and over again. So it ends up being really versatile.
That's right.
Okay. That's right. Can we look at the ties before we go?
Absolutely. The ties are the best.
Okay.
When it comes to ties, there are many levels of ties. You've got silk ties, rayon ties, knit ties, cotton ties. It just needs to be a good tie, meaning that it needs to have a style, it needs to have the right color that will pop the shirt as well as the jacket, and it depends on the age of the person wearing the tie. You have conservative ties, you have ties that have stripes, some that have paisley in them, you have the plain monotone ties, so it just depends on the style of the person, and oftentimes there is a type of tie that everyone wears in an office, and depending on if the person is trying to be a part of that team or if they're trying to break out and show that they're a little different, that will depend on the tie that you wear on a daily basis as well. It's said that some men collect ties like women collect shoes, and we have a lot of customers that love ties. So, you know, a tie a week. Sometimes, like ladies buy shoes, men will buy ties. And you know, the best thing I can say is that a man should not be afraid to wear a pink tie. We sell a lot of pink ties, and they do stand out. You're going to make a statement, and of course these are three very different ties, but they all have that purple in them, and so they're unique. And black folks like purple because it resembles royalty, so that's why I've selected these three purple ties.
I'm appreciative of being able to stop into a store as a frequent flyer who travels internationally and also domestically. It allows me a chance to be able to not only pick up things that I need, but also be thinking about the anticipation of meetings I may be having and be able to do some coordination in advance of time. I also appreciate the fact that not only does it provide convenience, but it also provides opportunity for selection. Having selection is necessary if you're trying to make that right impression for whatever meeting you may have. And so with that being said, I'm thankful.
As an attorney, I can appreciate that because she has a good eye for fashion, and you know, having a nice little suit, that's our uniform.
Right, right. Yeah. And one of the points that I liked was what she talked about conservative clothes, and it actually brought up the whole concept of language as we were talking about it, because some people were like, well, I don't ever want to deal with conservative clothes, thinking that it automatically aligns with certain politics. Right. But, you know, as she talked about, you know, sometimes the conservative clothes are just to differentiate from when you're in situations where the clothes are not supposed to be the focus of the discussion. So, you know, I think, again, the power of language. And another, it actually reminds me of another thing that we were talking about language, in that is that we talked about that she's a serial entrepreneur. And right. It was funny because for some people, the only context that they had for the word serial was like a serial killer. And so most people. It was like, well, you know, if you are in different settings, if you're in business settings and you're in professional settings, you actually, you know, learn about the different kinds of contexts that these things are used in. And so, you know, throughout the show, you'll be learning just, you know, some different ways to think about and see the world, just so you can apply it to your everyday life. So, you know, serial entrepreneurs are persons who have the ability to do exactly what she did. Start one company, get it operational, then start another company, and go from there. Yeah.
So what I really appreciate the fact that she had, like, she employs like 200 people and so many businesses. And, you know, oftentimes a lot of people may have side hustles and multiple businesses. What, as a business consultant, and since that's your field, like, what do you advise regarding that?
Okay, so Tyler's trying to get me to rant a little bit. I am not going to get in trouble. I am not a fan of the side hustle. I am not a fan of the whole side hustle mentality. I think it taints what entrepreneurship is really about. Entrepreneurship should be creating an institution that has the ability to sustain yourself, like food, clothing, shelter, and then also do that for others. And so side hustles are really just, you know, one person working as hard as they can and barely being able to do that with the one thing, or the one thing is not sustainable. And so I think it gives people a false sense of security, or a false sense of entrepreneurship to have a side hustle mentality. Honestly, I think changing our mindset about thinking of the word serial as bad to serial entrepreneurship allows you to employ hundreds of people, or even just small groups of people. It allows you, she does a lot of community outreach in Ghana. She does a lot of community outreach with children, and those things aren't possible if we have a side hustle mentality.
Got you. Yes. Okay.
This is your business with the problems you face going it alone without management advisory help. With our comprehensive all-in-one approach to optimizing your business with across-the-board best practice, this is your business in the hands of New Business Solutions. Are you ready? Call today.
Sticking with Dr. King's message, right, we actually have a sister who participated in the video challenge.
Yes.
Shanita.
Yeah.
Let's check her out.
Let's take a look.
My name is Shanita Rashid, and I am from Maryland. And this year, I am no longer dreaming. I'm standing with Let's Buy Black 365 by honoring Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy, honoring what he told us to do in his 1963 mountaintop speech. This year, I will no longer be shopping at Victoria's Secret and such stores like Bed Bath & Beyond for scents and lotions. I'm switching to Black-owned businesses like Carmel Brown Cosmetics. This year, I am also switching from PNC Bank to Industrial Bank, which is a Black-owned quality bank. Please stand with us. Let's Buy Black 365 and be the change that you want to see in the world.
You know, that's exactly what Dr. King was talking about.
Right.
Divesting, you know.
Yeah. The whole concept of not just divesting, but also investing in our own communities. Exactly. And so tonight you've seen two examples of people who are invested in their community as entrepreneurs, and who are living Dr. King's vision. And you've also seen people who are taking the video challenge to participate in that way. So we're really excited about seeing your videos and seeing what you have to share with us about how you're going to live Dr. King's message throughout this year.
Absolutely. So we're talking about Dr. King. What's your favorite Dr. King quote?
well, he has so many of them.
Yeah, I know it's tough.
But I think right after Trayvon Martin was killed, murdered, I had changed my profile picture for over a year and a half, I think, to a quote with Dr. King that says, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And I think that's the one that really inspires me every day, because, you know, focusing on all these other things, it's not that you can't have fun, it's not that you can't enjoy your life, but it's important to me that I make a difference in my community in meaningful ways, and that quote definitely keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, it was really the conversation that he had with Harry Belafonte, talking about integrating. And a lot of people, what they don't know is that even though Dr. King was about equal rights and these things, and funded for integration, he actually, toward the end of his life, during this conversation, said that he's afraid that we're integrated into a burning building or a burning house. And that stuck out to me because, you know, Dr. King was a visionary, you know, and he was working at the time of his assassination, working with the sanitation workers and things of that nature. But for him to be able to see that, okay, maybe this isn't the best option for us because of the American morality system.
Or lack
thereof. So, but I thought that was something that was pretty powerful, and it helped to kind of shape exactly what I do as an attorney, as a lawyer, as a activist, you know, community. Yeah.
That is powerful.
Absolutely. So, you know, we have so many talented people with Let's Buy Black, and we have one brother in particular, Brother Elliot, you know, and support of Let's Buy Black. He's helped us and blessed us tremendously, and he's blessing the family tonight with an actual piece. A poetry piece.
Yeah. He's an incredible spoken word artist, and, you know, leads poetry slams and all that good stuff. So definitely a huge shout out to Brother Elliot Axiom, and you know, he's famous for his powerful voice, and he's got a piece for us tonight for our Dr. King tribute episode. Take a look.
We do not recognize the abilities within us. We take for granted the wings forming inside of our cocoon bodies. Believe all we have to do is be still and they will grow. We don't understand that for metamorphosis to occur, for these pupa frail mortal casings to crack open, for our backs to split, allowing those flight permitting appendages to unfurl in order to fly to new worlds, first we must nourish and strengthen the limbs, bodies, and souls we already possess. Rewrite our autobiography every morning, proofread it every evening until the story is complete. So today we crawl, to walk, walk, to jog, jog, to run, run, to sprint, sprint, until the wind rushes to keep up with you. Now race it, till lack of wind in your chest makes you sprint, to run, run, to jog, jog, to walk, walk, to crawl, rest. This is not the meaning of life, but the pace at which we should chase our dreams. A meditation in preparation for flying out of secondhand starters blocks, feet on fire, blisterings, bottoms bleeding but bouncing with boundless energy, arms extended, L-bent, piston pumping, cheek to chin, legs, 13 steps, kick, jump over your hurdle. If not, run through it. By any means, win. Teach yourself to develop a two guards tendency. Shoot like you have the green light until they say you don't. Then shoot anyway. Go for the three when only two is needed. Throw it up from half court, 1 second remaining. Turn away. Let your back listen to the buzzer. To spinning ball bounce hard against backboard, roll around rim, perch, precariously pause between defeat and victory. Will it, feel it, go in. Hear the crowd roar. Breathe. Now get your butt back on D. Play with a defensive back's memory. Go for every interception, even when it's just you, he, and goal line. Cause there are two goals, really. His, everyone is looking toward, and yours, only you see. Get there, jump, leap, bang bodies with adversity. Stretch your arms limitless, reaching for your destiny. Grab it, intercept, land, redirect, juke opposition. Feet eat up real estate. You could go all the way. Touchdown, celebrate, and pump up the crowd. But don't spike the ball. Act like you've been here before and mean to return like winning is where you belong. You know what? Forget that. Spike the ball anyway. Live your life, love. Write your life, poet. Kiss karma so deeply she blushes you blessings on her rouge-colored cheeks. Believe. Be live. Alive. Live with righteous abandon because you never know when you will be forced to ride the bench. Injured. Reserved. Out of wind. We will rest then. But only then. We will rest. Then. Overtime.
Woo! Poetry snaps.
There we go. There we go.
Wow.
That was inspirational.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
really deep. And I think it's a perfect send-off with regard to Dr. King because it's just about not giving up.
Yeah, and so it's cold out there. And I have no shortage of my brother telling me I'm on the wrong side of the ocean.
I know that.
And my melanin is not feeling this cold. My melanin is not feeling this
Nobody's
cold. So we wanted to end the show with a little bit of sunshine.
Absolutely.
And so you've got 3 minutes of sunshine coming at you just to warm you up on this January evening.
Aluna kande, so diala. Aluna kande, foli aluna kande, dugu diala. Aluna kande, so diala. Aluna kande, foli aluna kande, so diala. Aluna kande, so diala. Aluna kande jembe fola luna kande dugu diala. Aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande fani aluna kande so diala. Yeah, aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande foli aluna kambara dugu diambolo. Aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande foli aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande sewa de luna kande dugu diala. Aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande foli aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande sewa de luna kande dugu diala. Aluna kande so diala. Aluna kande foli aluna kande so diala.
Yes, family.
Love it, love it, love it.
I am so excited about going on the Sankofa journey. We are definitely sitting down with the organizers of the Sankofa journey, and several of us are going again this year because this is the 20th year anniversary. So it's going to be amazing. You'll hear more about that in February, but definitely you can go to sankofajourney.com and register, and especially for those who've never been to Ghana, Dr. Obadale Kamban, who you met last week, it has lived there for 8 years and knows absolutely everything about Ghana from an intimate level, and is definitely got some amazing things planned for the 20-year anniversary. So we figured on this cold day, extremely cold, we could reflect a little bit on what's coming up this year with some of the warmth and warmth on soil that is owned and controlled by us, especially because as we talk about injustice and all the things that happen here, one thing that sticks out in my mind is something that Dr. Kamban talks about all the time, which is he doesn't deal with any of that there. God. And so when we talk about getting away from white supremacy, sometimes it's as easy as changing our geography, both, you know, real geography, but then also in terms of digital spaces. So we're so thankful to Abibi Tumi Casa and Abibi Tumi and the Abibi Tumi app. Definitely have been taking advantage of that and meeting some of our family there. Really looking forward to meeting us all meeting in person soon. So definitely also want to thank Elliot Axiom, brilliant spoken word artist. Love that voice.
James Earl Jones type voice, you know?
Love that voice. And definitely, you know, Power in One Clothing. Love the line and love the mission of what the company is about. And that's actually the first brand that I have really come across. Honestly, I'm not a t-shirt wearer. But I really like the clothes. One, they feel good, but I also just, you know, I really like the message and knowing that it's an extension of my community activism. And then even in terms of Busy Bee and what she does and making, you know, those kinds of conservative clothes available, all of us can take advantage of that. I decided to wear a more conservative outfit, but every day that I do that, you will see that I will put some African flair, and even in that interview, I had a piece of African cloth on. So yeah, just it's been a really great show.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you all for being here. And Tyler, do you want to close us out?
Absolutely. Tune in next week, and we're going to dive into some more things. You know, we may touch on a little black love a little bit, you know. But yeah, tune in to us next week, 8 o'clock p.m. We're blacking out.